Most career home runs in Major League Baseball by Japanese players. He now clears Hideki Matsui with that home run yesterday, giving him 176.
And Matsui was interviewed. He said, look, my numbers aren't comparable to Shohei, but Shohei said how much he's admired him.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a beautiful kind of pass. What are you shaking your head at?
Is Shohei Ohtani a Hall of Famer right now? I always like this question. Is he a Hall of Famer right now?
It's not for me to say. It's not for me to say. He's doing Hall of Fame type things. I'd like to see a little bit more longevity. I'm a small hall guy if you want to have this real conversation. So I would say he's the most athletic.
He's on the highway.
He's the most gifted baseball player we've ever seen. I'm sorry. He is. Okay? And what's crazy to me is he's going to potentially come back and get on the bump. And I don't know what he's going to give you on the bump coming back from 2 Tommy Johns, but it's a situation where when you dive into his offensive numbers, if he gives you number 3 type rotation stuff, like a 4 ERA with this offensive profile, it's still worth every bit of $700 million. And what he's been able to you talk about eliminating noise, what he's had to deal with in the offseason and then leading in, and where he's at now offensively, let's get into it. It's crazy. $700 million, all eyes on him from the time he was 15 years old, and he doesn't disappoint. It took him about a week to get comfortable in this Dodgers uniform, and he's put the whole game on notice again. All right? From an offensive profile, look at this. You flash back to Hideki Matsui, right? Hideki Matsui was a darn good player for the Yankees when he came over. Hitting tanks all over. 2009, he was the World Series MVP, doing things the right way. And then you get, first off, give me the board comparing him to Matsui before we get into these homers. Look at the games played. Matsui, 500 more games played. The batting average, basically the same. Ohtani overtakes him in home runs. The on base is similar. Slug, obviously Ohtani. And then you look at the OPS plus. 100's your average big leaguer. He's 50% better than your average big leaguer. Pop for days. The ability to work the ball line to line. He's simplified his swing since he's come over. He's rehabbing an arm injury, and he's still dominating the sport. And then we'll get into yesterday's home run. Adrian Hauser just spins something in the middle. As soon as this comes out, I want you to run that back for me real quick. I want you to watch Thomas Nito's reaction as soon as this ball's hit, the catcher. Watch this. Ready? Golly. Head goes down like, can I have another pelota, please? Because this one's going 520 feet on an 0-1 count. So watch it. Watch the swing. Watch this man's reaction. Ready? Golly. So pause this real quick. Bring me up the OPS leaders. Let this sink in. No one's close. I mean, when Eric Nay's Researcher to the Stars brought this to me, wouldn't you think that Acuna, who won the MVP, Jordan, Seager, Mookie, wouldn't you think they're close?
Yeah.
They're really not close to what he's doing from a power potential. Now let's get in, because I don't think people also understand he's got 11 doubles. So he's shooting balls all over the line. He's got minimal movement. He's got power for days. And now all of a sudden, he's going to try and win a batting title as well. So pause this. What I love about this, and we noticed this watching video, against right-handers, a little bit more closed off, right? Set up, staying through the baseball. Maybe to get a better visual, every time a lefty gets on the mound, he kind of opens up this front foot to kind of clear his hips, give him a little bit more of a visual looking at the hitter. So run this.
You said he simplified. How?
We're going to get into a side angle here in a second, Lauren.
Give him time.
But Lauren, do you know who's leading the league in batting average? Pause it. Bring up the batting average leaders.
What?
Wow. Did you know that?
I did not. Stephen Kwan.
So he's popped for days. The OPS is through the roof. Oh, and he's decided to overtake Stephen Kwan with a 368 batting average. And when he first came over, there was a couple moving parts, a leg kick. He was searching for things. Watch how simple this move is for him. Obviously, a mountain of a man. Get back into this side angle. He sets the front foot down, and his swing's done. Run that back for me real quick. All the way, right there. Now get that front foot down. I want you to get that front foot down at contact. Stop it. Do you see what he does with his hips? That is not something everyone does. When he sets this down, it's almost like he rocks into his hips. David Wright used to do that very well. Use his hips to create this kind of coil, and then he just releases that back hip at the baseball. Run it. It's a simple move. The best DH I ever saw, pause it, in my life was Big Papi, right? Most clutch hitter this game's ever seen, in my opinion. You can't cookie cut great hitting. And why this guy has a chance to potentially win a batting title, minimal movement in his swing, not a lot of moving parts, and still is able to generate power. David Ortiz did it a completely different way. Run this, please. I'm gonna tell you to pause. Pause. Look at Big Papi.
Holy.
Talk about moving parts, and they both sync up perfectly and work. So there's not one way to go about it. Just what he's doing. $700 million contract, all the off-season noise that he's dealt with, new uniform, superstar-laden lineup with microscope on him every night, and he still goes out and dominates the game. So 368 batting average, OPS for days, and he's going to come back and pitch next year.